Hey, Courtney. All right, so I told you a couple days ago I reordered this deck. I discovered this deck. It's called Revelations Tarot, Zach Wong, and this is probably the first deck that ever really spoke to me. All my other decks that I had like growing up and as a teenager were given to me as gifts. But this was the first one that, I felt a real connection with. And I think you're going to like it. The visuals are beautiful. It's very descriptive. And over the last couple of days, I've been just kind of looking at the cards and, looking at each image and getting reacquainted with them and reconnected with them. But I haven't done a reading with them yet. So, you're going to be the first with this deck. And I've already lit my Palo Santo and I smudged it. And I've already shuffled and cut the deck. Figured I'd spare you that part of it. But we are going to do an 4 elements spread. And basically it's meant to be, a shorter, more reflective spread, bringing clarity to those places that you really need to focus on, and, areas of your life that you need to pay more attention to, or maybe less attention to. So basically the way this works is you lay it out as a compass. It's going to be north, south, east, and west. Get these out the way. All right, so let me sit up. One we're going to be starting with is going to be north, which represents fire, the element of fire. And has to do with your intuition, which, as you've been learning lately, yours is getting stronger. 6 of Pentacles. All right, I'm going to use the book because it has been a few years since I've used this deck, and looking through the book over the last couple of days, it's just really great descriptions, and like he really goes into the detail of the artwork, and like, I think that's something I respect about this deck, too, is that he very lovingly drew this deck himself and put a lot of his heart and soul in it, and you can feel it. All right. So, 6 of Pentacles, and this is having to do with your intuition. Let's see if I can get it to focus up a little bit. All right, so the 6 of Pentacles. His generosity is in abundance. He gives freely to all who need. Charity and generosity will fill your heart and overflow. You could be the giver or the receiver in this situation, as wealth is shared for all to enjoy. Those in need will receive what is due to them and more. Helping hands will extend from nowhere to help you along in your career. Problems will be solved for you, and paths will be cleared of bumps and hurdles. Promotions from above will bring you closer to your goals. Family members may share their winnings. Partners may invest more of their time or themselves in the relationship. Whatever your pleasure may be, there it will be in abundance. And he goes into the images and symbolism of the actual card. So, once you get closer look at that. Sorry, glare. All right, so the man's open arms suggest that he has a generous nature. He is charity personified, the jovial giver, the sharer of wealth. And I would definitely say you're very giving of your intuitive abilities, as we've learned with the other Courtney and Jen Beth. All right, so next we're going to go south, and that's going to represent earth and sensation, touch. All right, Queen of Cups. Isn't it gorgeous? I just love this deck so much. I love the boldness. Queen of Cups. Let's see. Bear with me. All right, so, sorry. Queen of Cups. Her eyes are closed, for she sees all within her cup. She is the sensual lover, the alluring fantasy, and the mermaid that haunts the dreams of many. She embodies the magical fantasy that fulfills desires. The Queen of Cups represents a woman who is artistic, expressive, and extremely psychic. Her imagination is vivid, and her creativity shows in all aspects of her life. She is loving and empathetic, gentle in her nature, and emotional in her responses. She will fight for the underdog and side with the weak, for she is the proverbial pillar for emotional support. Now that sounds like you. In situations, this card heralds a time when high creativity and expressiveness is required. Projects may call for a twist of flair or imaginative delivery. Presentations will have to be spruced up. Clients may need a more sympathetic ear to meet their needs. Relationships will be loving and may carry emotional connections that can withstand distance and time. So, what he says about what he actually drew in the card is, the queen sits on a coral throne that is illuminated by lights from the ocean. She doesn't need light to see her way, for she has her cup to guide her to better understanding. She rules over the emotions of the heart. She is gentle and sensual, and cares only for love and the happiness of others. She is surrounded by unconventional and natural beauty. So, so far this is seeming like it's telling you to keep honing in on that intuition. Maybe something better to practice with, like third eye exercises, different meditations. You can try aromatherapy, different crystals and stuff that, will help keep strengthening that third eye and keeping it open. Because I think you've developed quite well in the short amount of time I've known you, for sure. Oh, sorry, I'm losing my voice. Alright, so East represents the element of air, which has to do with your mind, your thoughts. So, Ace of Pentacles upside down. In reverse. I hate this light. Let's see. I think East and West are going to be where you're going to really need to focus on, water and air, like you said earlier. All right, so Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Material obsessions and money vanish before you as a darkness casts a shadow over wealth and well-being. Here your wealth may find itself disappearing. Greed may see that you lose more money than you gain. Money may also be wasted and spent on disposable things and whimsical fancies. Wealth and financial stability will escape you as well as your pockets. Projects will suffer financial blows. Support and backing in both physical and financial aspects will seem to slip out from under you. Relationships may feel cold and lonesome as physical intimacy has lost its place in your bedroom. That's a drastic flip from the first two. Well, what he says about the images is the pinnacles fan out in the pentagram format to reinforce the pattern of the design. The intricacy of the design is derived from Islamic and Celtic motifs, deeply rooting the infused design in a history of its own. So, being that this is a card of the mind, you know, is that something that you've been worrying about? Money or financial stability? I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little stumped on that one. I'm interested to see what's in the West. So, the West is water, and it represents your feelings, your emotions. Wheel of Fortune. I love Major Arcana cards, because that's usually a pretty powerful message when you get a Major Arcana card. All right. The Wheel of Fortune. Check that out. So pretty. All right. The Wheel of Fortune spins in the direction of good fortune and luck. When this card is drawn, it signifies a time of strange coincidences, fortunate meetings, lucky moments, and chance occurrences, all of which put a positive spin on your life. In the case of an individual, this card may embody an old friend, a lost flame, a benevolent patron, or a caring soul. Situationally, this card shines a positive light on any outcome, and usually with abundance. The wheel will spin a full cycle, and at the end of your journey, you will start afresh with something new. Okay. I mean, as I'm sitting here looking at this, what it says to me is to stop worrying so much about physical things, material things, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be money. You know, anything that, I'm trying to find the word, anything that holds, you know, an objective meaning to you. So I think instead of focusing on that, letting your mind worry, letting your anxiety run wild, focus more on honing these two together, these opposites. Because both of these are saying focus on your intuition, focus on your, you know, trusting yourself and, you know, knowing your feelings, and most of all, just trusting it. And then, you know, once that's all said and done and focusing on the right path, there you go, Wheel of Fortune. One thing about the Wheel of Fortune, though, that I've noticed when it comes up in readings, it usually signifies change. But it's like not karmic, like fated, like fate, destiny. So whatever change is about to be heading your way, it's just leading you closer to where you're meant to be, which is also shown here to me. I think this is where you're meant to be. In the water, with your all-seeing cup, third eye wide open. Not worrying about anything because you already know everything's going to be fine. So, sorry it was so short. I wasn't meaning to stay up this late, but I wanted to play with these cards, and I wanted to do a little something for you. You know, later on, I'd like to do a bigger spread. Like, there's more spreads in this book than I've been using, so kind of excited to do some different ones and play with these cards some more, get reconnected with them. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a good night, honey. Love ya.